also matched and filled in gaps.
Hot.
He said that when she pulled up to an
love it.
intersection,
I
he
love
shot
it.
at
I
her.
love it.
The car
Hot.
then proceeded to drift across 3 oncoming lanes of traffic before
9
crashing
rows.
into a light pole near Arnold Street
I'm on the
Northeast.
last row.
Investigators came upon a gray Volkswagen Beetle whose owner was Apodaca and who was suspiciously parked near the scene of the crime, but no efforts were made to bring him into questioning. When asked what his motive was for killing her once again, he answered similarly. She was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Ironically, Paul Apodaca's job at TVI at the time was the supervision of parking lots and ensuring that girls got to their cars safely and that no one was breaking into cars. He had worked there from 1988 to 1990 and already had a violent criminal history dating back to when he was a juvenile. As recent as 2021, he had pleaded guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and was sentenced to supervised probation for 3 years. Apodaca is also homeless and has also confessed to killing a third woman in 1988. Police say they believe they know the identity of the other woman he confessed to killing and are talking to her family, but add they're not ready to release her name. At this moment, the police say they have charged Apodaca with murder in the first degree in the death of Oakley, and that is the only case he has been charged in, because that is the case they have the most evidence in right now. However, with more time, evidence, and his confessions, more charges will be leveled against him. Given everything that happened, an officer asked Apodaca why he chose to confess, and Apodaca opened up to him. Apodaca looked at the officer and said that it was a shame that it took him so long to get to this point. He also told him that he now realized that what he did was evil and dark, and that it was the word of God that helped him overcome his struggle. Michelle Wyatt. Michelle Wyatt was born and bred in San Diego, where she went to Patrick Henry High School and graduated in 1977. By October of 1980, she was attending Grossmont College and working as a side hustle as a cashier at a Mission Hills Safeway store. People knew her as a driven woman who was very independent. Her father, Raymond Wyatt, testified to that. She also had good grades, and from a very young age, she was clear about what she wanted from life. She also loved the great outdoors and engaged in activities like scuba diving and skating. Friends spoke about how sweet she was and how hard it was for her to say or do anything that would hurt anyone's feelings. On the 9th of October, 1980, and in the hours before the terrible attack, Michelle Wyatt had spent time with her boyfriend, hanging out, playing pool, and just having fun. Then shortly after midnight, around 1 a.m., her boyfriend left, locking the door behind him. And sometimes after that, residents in neighboring condos heard a scream coming from a condo. No one called 911. The person screaming was Michelle Wyatt. There was no sign of forced entry, and it looked like the individual that committed the act had just walked straight in. The crime scene was taped.
And don't you love me how the next day,
and
they
clues
was
were
like, I
sought
thought I
innocent,
heard
but
something.
still,
I heard
the
screaming,
case
scuffling,
confounded every
fighting, glass
investigator
breaking,
and picked up
bullets
the file.
flying. I heard all types of
DNA,
shit.
which
And
seemed
nobody
to be
did
the
nothing.
white knight in every tale of homicide, wasn't helpful. After a lot of work with little to no effort to show for it, the case was closed for years until a retired San Diego sex crime and homicide detective decided to pick up the
let no man
case.
stand between
He began to deduce what might have happened that
two
night
souls that he
that
put
would have
together.
caused the killer to get into
He
a
didn't
door
say,
without
watch them
having
kill
to
each
force it
other.
open. He theorized
sure
that
as
Wyatt
hell didn't
was
say that.
unlikely to open the door for a stranger at that time. He said that the killer must have been watching her and almost definitely knocked on her door mere moments after her boyfriend left to give the impression that it was her boyfriend at the door who had maybe forgotten something. In June 2000, more DNA testing revealed that there were two DNA profiles on the crime scene. One was her boyfriend, who was later eliminated as a suspect, and the other was an unidentified person whose DNA produced no match on the National DNA Criminal Database. 2 decades were passed, and they tried yet again to see if a match could be produced. Yet again, they found nothing.